So in this video, I'll be showing you how to wire a GY6 CDI to the stock Honda Navi. So first of all, the CDI will be under your seat. So if you remove that, you'll normally have a little cover on top of your battery. If you get rid of that, you should see all this stuff. Ignore the other wiring and things like that. But your CDI is this little black box right here. So the advantage of upgrading your CDI is possible performance upgrade. A lot of videos kind of disprove that, but the main reason why you'd want one is it unlocks your rev limiter. So your only options from basically since these bikes came out until now was buying rolling wrench, which it is a good CDI, but in my case, at least for if you're in Canada or other places outside of the US, you have to pay the taxes, the fees, and all that for buying one of those, which it's already roughly $270 Canadian, excluding the fees and shipping and all that. So it definitely is a little pricey. If you do have the money, it is a good option. But what I found out is if you make your little wiring loom like this. So here's the Honda Navi plugs that plug into your harness, and this is the plug that plugs into standard GY6 CDI units. It runs no problem. This is one of those like stay up until like 2 in the morning looking at wiring diagrams for the Navi and learning on how CDIs worked and what pins did what and all that. So basically I came up with this little adapter. It costs about maybe $15 to make. That's for buying a whole kit with all the pins and plugs. And then I bought a little wiring loom with these plugs and just the wires coming off. And then I bought this CDI unit for only like $17 Canadian. There was a second CDI unit, which I will get into, but yeah. Okay, so first thing you want to do when picking out a CDI, you want to make sure it's a DC CDI. Don't buy an AC CDI. So all of them will have similar plugs. They'll all look the same. This is the stock Navi one here, so just ignore that for now. But make sure they're a DC CDI, and then also later on in the video, some of the clips might look a little random and out of place. That's because when I started this video, I first had this CDI. This is the first one I bought, and it is a DC CDI. But for whatever reason, this CDI, it's one that's supposed to be adjustable timing. But when it arrived, I don't know what was wrong with it, and I found one comment on YouTube saying the same thing. But the timing on this, just out of the box, even adjusted on this dial, no matter which way you turn it, is just way too advanced, I believe. What would happen is you kickstart it, and it would kick back at you. So the kickstand, or the kick start, would shoot back up at you. So at least if you see this CDI, I'd avoid that. This one, though, no issues with this. This one has a adjustable rev limit, in case that's a valuable feature to you. And I believe also adjustable ignition timing. I could be wrong. There's basically a chart that shows all the combinations with these dip switches here. And you can look at that, decide what rev limit you want and all that. It also unlocks it too if you just leave it off. So I recommend going for this one or other ones. Avoid this one, at least from my experience and other people's. But yeah, so just a little warning. Make sure it's DC, CDI, and avoid this one, preferably. So what I got is obviously the CDI unit, and then I got some plugs that fit the GY6 CDI, like that. And then I bought a whole kit with all the plugs that fit the Honda Navi side. So like this. So then I can convert this plug to the Honda Navi style, so then it just directly plugs in without any issues. So first step that I'm going to do while preparing for all this is I'm going to go and strip every single one of these wires back by a little bit, just using one of these wire strippers. So I'll strip it back so then we can prepare to add all these pins and then add them to the plug. So yeah. So I got all the wires stripped, and I'm going to start with the 4-pin connector first, just to keep it a little less complicated. So next up, I'm going to go and add the little pins. So you want the flat ones, not the female connectors. So you don't want these ones. You want the male side. So just the flat little ones. And you want to go and put them on the wires. It's kind of hard to show, but put them on the wires like that, and then crimp. Basically, just push down these and try and make a good strong contact with that. And then after that, we can start putting them into the slots on the actual connector. So I'll do that. Just a little hard to film one-handed while doing that. So I'll just skip ahead to doing putting these on, and then we can push them in the connectors. So as you can see, I got every single wire pinned on the 4-pin connector there. So as you can see, just focuses. Yeah, it's nicely crimped. Okay, so this is the finished wiring diagram. I cleaned it up a little bit from some of the other clips, but this is the finished wiring diagram. This is the one you should use when doing this. So you will on the GY6 side, so this is on this side, not the Honda Navi plugs. On this side, just remember that, you will be missing one wire. So that one wire, just take out D-pin. Yeah, so just D-pin it from there. But you will need it, so keep it. And just use that as the ground for, which one is it? Use that for the ground here. So in my original videos, I believe I had one wire left over. So that was just the pin 5 on the GY6 side. So that will be a ground that you just tap into this point right there on the GY6 side. So as you can see here, the middle bottom one on the Honda Navi side right there will go to pin 3 on the GY6. Same with the negative for the coil right here. So the bottom, very bottom one on the 3-pin connector will also go to pin 3 up here. Both of those are ground. You can just put them on the same wire or something like that. As you can see here, kind of hard to see. There you go. So as you can see there, I put both wires together on the same pin. Works absolutely fine. So yeah, just a little cleaner diagram, just to try and help out any confusion stuff. I'll just go over the wiring again. So pin 1 on the GY6 goes to the top left pin on the 6-pin for the Honda Navi. Pin number 2 on the GY6 goes all the way to the middle plug on pin 3. Pin number 3 goes to the middle bottom on the 6-pin and the bottom connector on the 3-pin. And then pin 4 goes to the top right on the Navi plug on the 6-pin. And the last pin we have is pin 6, goes to the top on the 3-pin. Pin number 5 will be empty, and just don't worry about that. Okay, so once you finish the wiring and you have your GY6 CDI, you want to go back to your Honda Navi. And like I said before, you want to find your CDI right here. You want to pull that out like this. And on the back side, you'll see the connectors. So there's one tab up here. You can push right there and pull this connector out. I don't know if I can with one hand. I don't know. And then the 3-pin is the same thing as well. A little tab there that you push and it should pop out. Okay, so I got it out. As you can see, there's those little tabs, if it focuses. Yeah, so there's little tabs that you push and it will release from the harness. After that, you want to just take your new harness you made, simply plug it in. Okay, so just like that, as you can see, plugged in. I didn't have to modify the stock wiring harness or anything. That's why I made this adapter. So then it's just basically plug and play after you make this with any GY6 CDI. And then you can also still use your original CDI just in case something happens. You can just leave this in your box or in here. And then you can still just plug it in. There's no issues with that. And then after that, you should be able to just start it. As you can see, everything powers on. I'll try kickstarting. Hasn't been ran, so it's a little cold. But as you can see, it does run. You can see the light flashing on the CDI too. Alright, as you can see, it does run. The LED is flashing on the CDI. It is still cold, so it probably won't like the throttle. But as you can see, it does run. And then also, kill switch works. And electric start works too. So yeah, CDI works. Everything's all good with that. Okay, so as you can see, it does run. Everything's the same as before. Electric start works, kickstart works, headlight turns on, like everything works. And for how cheap it is, I'd say it's a great mod. With these little dials, if you look on the ad that you buy this from, or some of them have them printed on the side, what the switches do. But there's one that says ignition curve or something like that. Don't use that one. All I got from that was a bunch of sputtering and things like that. So I believe the ignition curve one is just all of them down except number 4 is up. So I mean, you can try it. It won't do anything. But just yeah, just look at whatever yours can do, and just set it to however you like. Don't put any rev limit on other than probably 9,000. I mean, unless if you want to, but it would limit your speed a ton. And the stock rev limiter on these are like 9,200, 300, something like that. So yeah, put it at either 10 or 9 roughly if you can, or just leave it on unlimited and just watch your tack if you can. But yeah,